There are few stories of innovation that arise so literally from a problem and solution created inside the brain of a scientist. This is the case of a new non-invasive method to measure intracranial pressure, developed by the Brazilian physicist Sérgio Mascarenhas. Mascarenhas is professor emeritus at the University of São Paulo and was also a visiting professor at Harvard, Princeton, MIT, and other centers of excellence. At the age of 78 and suffering from normal pressure hydrocephalus, he learned that the only way to monitor the intracranial pressure was by using an invasive procedure where a sensor is inserted into the brain through a hole drilled in the skull of the patient.
I thought there should be a better way of doing this instead of just drilling a hole in my skull. And that this was a problem for doctors and healthcare people around the world. So that became my challenge.
Knowing the intracranial pressure is essential in cases of trauma, for instance, a major cause of death and hospital emergency worldwide. However, there was a need for more simple and efficient methods so that doctors could obtain such data without introducing sensors through the skull of the patient. A few months after his recovery, Professor Mascarenhas and his team of collaborators were already testing a solution to the problem in the laboratory. First, they created a minimally invasive method, which has been upgraded to the point that the sensor only touches the skull, without even the need of minor incisions required by the minimally invasive arrangement. The device operates with a high-precision sensor capable of detecting an extremely small deformation of the skull surface due to the intracranial pressure variation. The electrical signals of the sensor are captured and transmitted to a hardware-software system that processes the data, generates graphs, and displays it on a screen in real time. After being tested in animals and humans, the method has been presented at conferences worldwide and in papers published in international journals. The results were so positive that the project won support from organizations such as the Pan American Health Organization, linked to the World Health Organization and the Ministry of Health in Brazil, among other funding agencies. Now, the opportunity is in achieving large-scale production for the device and bringing this innovation to hundreds of thousands of ambulances, hospitals, and clinics worldwide. For this reason, Braincare was created, the company that owns the patent on the method and the equipment generated from the pioneering work of Professor Mascarenhas. His team, which includes neurosurgeons, postdocs, doctors, and other qualified professionals, is working non-stop on the product improvements and on its new applications. By being simple and much less expensive, it can be used easily in clinics and even in the patient's home, opening up new possibilities for the use of intracranial pressure monitoring and also new markets in healthcare.
Due to the risks of the invasive method, it was applied just in extreme cases because you have to to drill a hole in the skull. There's the risk of infection. Now, with our methods, I think it's going to be much more effective in relation to what you can do in many situations, including applications in pathologies like epilepsy or investigating physiology of exercise, and even in cases of degenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease.